Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 3. Another really impressive result away from home in the Champions League to extend our run to 7 wins in a row in the Champions League. Unbeaten, guaranteed top 2 finish, guys. Wow. Absolutely incredible, guys. A brilliant UCL campaign so far. Obviously, we're kind of eyes onto the knockout stage because we've got Kairat, who are one of the lowest ranked teams in the competition, left for our final game. And that will be the end of the Champions League for us. So hopefully we get obviously the win there and guarantee first. But brilliant game tonight, man. I thought it was really entertaining. It wasn't, the scoreline obviously was impressive, and 3-1, I think it was deserved in the end, second half, but we had to work for it today, man. Inter, to credit to them, like, they were decent, especially in that first half. They could have scored more than a goal for sure, but they didn't take their chances, and that kind of ended up backfiring on their end. But I thought in terms of performances, there weren't too many special ones from a lot of our players. They were kind of just average, steady performances, but we saw out the win, man. This is what happens when you've got such a solid foundation at the back, even while rotating, which I thought was very well managed by Arteta, because he was criticised after Forest because of the rotation and the weird choice to start Madueke. But if you're spending 50 more on a winger, I don't blame him for starting him in some games. Yes, you can look back at that now saying maybe he got the selection wrong. But today, seeing Jesus rotated in, seeing Trossard back in the lineup, Eze starting a game which we haven't seen, and obviously Skelly and Mosquera coming back in after a long time out, it's good to see the rotation paying dividends, because it is showing we are like doing really well in all the competitions, which we haven't seen in a long time, man. It's really refreshing. We mustn't get carried away. I've seen a lot of people joke, quadruple shouts. Let's calm it down, guys, because yes, it is very impressive. We are first in the Champions League, but we've seen this before with Liverpool last year. They were first, I believe. They were first, and then they played PSG in the next round and got knocked out. So it's all about luck as well in this competition with who you draw. But if we guarantee top 2, which I think we will do, we've guaranteed top 2 already. So we get the home advantage in the knockouts, which is massive, guys. I think it's you play home first or you play home every game. I can't remember what the rule change is. Let me know. But it's mad looking at this, man. We have conceded 2 goals in 7 games. We have won 7 games in the Champions League. We've already conceded to Bayern and tonight. That is crazy work, man. 20 goals, 2 goals conceded. 21 points out of 21. The rest of Europe, I'm not going to lie, they're looking at this like, what the hell is going on? Because you're seeing the rest of the table, it is chopping and changing all the time. Like, Madrid are now second out of nowhere, 15 points. 6 points behind us. Bayern, if they win tomorrow, go to 18, so they've had an impressive run as well. But the only team that has beaten them all season is us, which is really good to look at, man. It's really encouraging for Arsenal and the fans. Obviously, we were out of this competition for 6 years, man. So it's a big deal, but we need to calm down and just take every game as it is, because it's nowhere near the end of the season and it's only halfway, basically. So there's a lot to come up, man. But I'm really confident in this squad in terms of depth. We've got so much quality today on show in terms of rotation. It's brilliant. But let's get into the game itself, because it started with us on the front foot. I mean, we could have scored in the opening minute. I can't remember who it was. I think it may have been Jesus. We were on it from the get-go, man. I think that was clearly set out by Arteta. He really wanted us to go for this at the start. And we were probing for a long time before Jesus got the opener in 10 minutes, silencing San Siro, which is a really nice stadium. I love it. And the atmosphere was top. So to silence the crowd that quickly in the game, really good, man, from Jesus. This is what we've been missing up front. Not necessarily with Gyokeres, who has kind of not got in those positions, but in terms of just attack in general, man, we haven't taken those half chances. So the way Jesus took that goal was really refreshing, man. Too many games we've been on top and we've gone in at the half 0-0. But Jesus, brilliant, man. Timber mishits a shot and it lands in the air and Jesus just swipes at it and pokes it in. Really clever finish, man. Jesus, we know how good he is. It's never been a question, but it's his fitness and also sometimes his lack of clinical finishing, man. He does get himself in really good positions, and he's such a good player in terms of dribbling, build-up play, all of that. But that finish was really good, man. Really nice goal from him to make it 1-0. And to be fair to Inter, they did respond well after that, man. They had a few breaks. Lautaro and Thuram were decent, man. I thought Thuram had a good game, man. He was causing our defense problems, and so was Enrique, man. The wingback, he was impressive. I haven't even watched him too much. Him and DeMarco. DeMarco defensively was getting done by Saka quite a lot, but going forward, they both had chances. This is the thing with Inter. They got a very weird formation, quite old school, with 3 at the back and 5 in midfield. So they do overload that quite well, and they did get the better of our midfield quite a lot, man. We had Marino and Zubi who kind of got overran, but that's understandable with the amount of players in there. And yeah, man, we had to make some good blocks and defensive clearances to keep it at 1-0 for the most part. Obviously, their goal 1-1 by Sucic, who I hadn't even heard of before this game. I'm not gonna lie. He had a good game though, man. Player of the match, I'm not sure about that, but he did have a good game. There were a few times where I thought he wasted a few chances for Inter, but he was solid, man. That goal was really good as well. It kind of fell to him perfectly, but it was just so annoying because I can't remember who it came from. I think Lautaro and Thuram were on the break, and it kind of just landed in front of him perfectly for him to smash it top corner. Zubamendi tried to close him down, but yeah, Raya couldn't even get to it, and we know how good Raya's been, so it's a good effort to beat David Raya, and 1-1, fair and square. It was a bit annoying the way we conceded that, and we were open at times, but for the most part, I think we did all right, man. Saka was having a really good game, man. I thought he wasn't too involved. I tweeted it on my Twitter, but he was quietly having a really good game, man. He was getting a lot of passes off, and he was skinning DeMarco quite a lot. And he was getting double teamed, and he still managed to handle it, which is what we love to see from Saka, man. He's consistent, we know that, and we just want to see him kind of keep this up, keep this level up. He got an assist today as well, which is really good. And yeah, man, just keep it up. I'm not sure what he's going to do for our next game, which we're going to talk about later because it's a big one between Arsenal and Man United at the weekend. But Jesus was my player of the match for us, man. He was brilliant. 2 goals for him. Really nice finishes as well. Obviously, after they scored the equaliser, I think we needed to go in the half 1 up at least because Inter at home, it's not an easy ground to go to, man. It's very hostile. So the way Jesus got that goal was nice. It came from, I believe, a corner, and it was Trossard who set it back to him. I think it may have took a ricochet because I don't think Tross got the assist. But yeah, Trossard kept it in really well at the back stick, headed it back, and then Jesus was kind of right in front of the goal. Perfect position to just head it in to make it 2-1. Really, really nice for him to get a brace in the first 30 minutes. Really happy for him as well after all the injury troubles he has had recently in recent years. But for the rest of that half, I thought it was kind of a back and forth, man. Inter are very good on the transition, which is what they're known for, with their wing backs bombing up and down the pitch. DeMarco had a few efforts. Enrique was getting in good positions, crossing it back. And Thuram squandered a few chances, I'm not going to lie. That's the clinical aspect that he kind of lacks. He's a tricky player, but he did squander a few chances. I remember one landed at his feet perfectly with Timber and Skelly, with Mosquera, Saliba. They were all putting their bodies on the line, basically. And it landed perfectly for Thuram, and he skies it. And you're looking at that thinking, should he have done better? Probably. I thought Lewis Skelly was good today, man. Like, as much as he's been criticised this season, he's looked a bit flustered in games. He hasn't had a lot of game time, and you've got to remember, he's literally 19 years old, guys. Like, we need to chill on him. But he was good today, man. Solid performance from Skelly. I thought he was really bright in defensive areas as well. He looked solid, man. He was getting his body on the line, clearing it. And I just need to see him play more, man, because we know how talented he is. It's like Ranieri, but we'll speak on Ranieri as well later on because he's obviously pending move coming. But Mosquera stepping in, it was good. I thought there was kind of, with Gabriel, there's less of a threat to other teams in terms of attack. And we did look a bit more open, but I don't think that was solely down to Mosquera. I think it was also the midfield kind of getting ran over a little bit. And Timber, I'm looking at SofaScore here. I like using it. I don't think he was bad. Like, this makes it look like he was terrible. I don't think he was. He didn't have his best game, but yeah, I think sometimes you could look at our defense and they did get cut open quite a lot, but it happens, man, especially away at a ground like this, man. Inter are not a bad team. I think they're top of Serie A right now. They're doing well. So I thought this would be a tight game, man. I did actually go 3-1 after thinking it could be a draw. The way we started, I was like, hell no. We're going to beat these guys. But it wasn't a comfortable one. Let's put it that way, man. There were a few moments where you're looking at their players. Sucic, who was good this game, He had a few chances to kind of shoot, and he probably should have. He ended up trying to square it to Lautaro or Thuram, and we ended up getting back in defensive shape. But in the first half, 52% possession for us. Really impressive away from home to get more possession. More expected goals. 10 shots, which is really impressive as well. And Ryan made some decent saves. But for the most part, I thought we were good in that first half. And it was good to see that 2-1 lead go into the second half. Now, the second half was a bit different because I think we kind of backed off a little bit in terms of attack. It was much more Inter on the front foot. Let's put it that way. They had more expected goals, 9 shots from them. But a lot of them were not clinical, man. Like they were breaking constantly at pace, but they just didn't take their chances, man. Enrique was really bombing forward on that right hand side, and there just wasn't a clinical aspect to their game. Lautaro and Barella I like, but he had a quiet game, man. I don't think he really influenced anything. They brought on this young striker, Esposito, and he looked good, man. I thought he was like holding off our defense quite well, getting shots off, but it wasn't enough, man. It wasn't enough. And I think Arteta managed the game well in terms of subs. He brought on Gabriel to kind of shut up shop defensively. Gyokeres came on. I don't think Jesus needs a whole 90. And Martinelli came on as well. Saka getting a full 90 is a bit odd, but he didn't start against Forest. So it's good for him to get a start, I guess, and a full game. But that was a weird one. It was very close, though, in terms of the second half. Like, I thought both teams had their opportunities, and I think Inter were more on the front foot. But credit to our defence, man. We did well in terms of getting the ball out, and a few lucky moments where Inter should have probably done better, and they didn't. But for the most part, I was impressed, man. In that second half, I don't even remember too much because I was too gassed at the Gyokeres goal, man. Hey, let's talk about it. He comes on, 15 minutes to go. You're thinking, yeah, this Jesus cameo, 2 goals. He's probably got to start against United. And then Gyokeres comes on, actually does well, man. He holds off defenders. They were all over him. Like, Acerbi was wrestling with him, Bastoni as well. And he held it off well, man. And in that third goal, Martinelli plays a lovely pass forward. And Gyokeres tries to lay it off to Saka. Ends up with Saka. Lays it back. Who, before this, I saw another moment where people are highlighting Saka needs to pass more. And I agree, but I do get Saka taking shots on. We know how dangerous he can be, but there are some moments where he should have squared that to Gyokeres earlier in the before his third goal, because he was wide open. He was wide open. Sometimes Saka's got his head down and he likes to shoot a bit too much. Maybe that's the coaching thing Arteta needs to do, but hey, it doesn't matter because Saka played the pass back to Gyokeres, and Gyokeres, we haven't seen a finish like that in his Arsenal career. I mean, some of his best goals were early on, like the ones against Forest and Leeds months and months ago. So to see him bang one from outside the box first time was brilliant, man. I mean, the defending from Inter is pretty poor. Like, it literally lands perfectly for Gyokeres. But the way he shoots it top bins, it gets a little deflection, but we don't care. We don't care. I can't remember if it's a deflection or Sommer goes to save it and touches it slightly, but hey, man, Gyokeres, brilliant goal, man. Brilliant goal. This is what we need to see because that is Sporting Gyokeres. We saw that at Sporting. Banging goals in like that. We need to see that more. Yes, he needs to be passed to more. I agree with that. But we saw a Jesus today. He makes things happen. Gyokeres, I know he's not that type of player, but there are some times where he gets half chances and he's starving all game and he just doesn't take them. And you're thinking, yeah, that's your chances gone. But we also brought on Rice for Eze, who Eze again, quiet game, didn't really do too much, but I sympathise with him in the sense that he isn't getting the game time, guys. And I think if he's not getting the game time, we've seen it with Skelly, it affects their performance. So I think we need to see a run for Eze. Give him a run again, like we did when he first came in and he was brilliant for a few of those games against Tottenham. Bayern Munich, he was good. We need to do that more, man, because he's really needs minutes. You can see it. But today, quiet game, man. Didn't do anything, but he looked really pissed when he came off. And I understand it, man. Now, what will we do for the next game? That is a question that I'm going to answer. What I think we should do. But let me get into that now, guys. As you guys can see here, this is what we lined up with. Pretty rotated, man. So I'm very happy with a 3-1 win. Yes, we brought on our big hitters, but hey, man, great to see Gyokeres get on the score sheet. And I do think that against United, It's a big game for us. Carrick at the wheel. A lot of Man U fans, they've kind of got nothing to lose, and they're quite confident of that Man City win. So I think we need to play a strong team. I do think now that we did obviously have Gyokeres come off the bench late, I think Gyokeres will start. I don't really care who we start with, but I think Gyokeres will start now that he came on later. I think Saka will start again, hopefully. And Trossard did come off, so maybe Martinelli gets a go. I don't really mind, to be honest. Like, it is Dallo. Like, you know what I think of Dallo, guys. Uh, so I think that I don't really care. But I do think that we will obviously see Rice come back in, probably Odegaard. As much as I want Eze to get a run of games, man, because I do think it is slightly affecting his performance when we see him. Like, the guy comes on for 10 minutes. He's a big signing. We know how quality he is. But I'm not worried about Eze because he will get his chances. But I do think he needs to get more minutes. But I do think he'll start with Odegaard. So this is probably quite accurate from SofaScore in a sense. I think it will be this. But I do think Timber will obviously go at right back. Oh, no, sorry. Timber left back is something we have been doing because obviously Hincapié and Calafiori are out, which is really annoying. Could we give Skelly a game? Possibly. He did play the full 90 today, so that makes me feel that he'll put Timber left back, which I don't mind too much. I would like to see Skelly get a game, but against Ahmad it could be quite a test. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Or Dorgu. Like, it's quite a test, but I don't really mind. But in terms of, I think Odegaard will definitely come back in with Rice, Zubi, Gyokeres, Saka, and Tross. That's probably quite accurate. Let me know what you guys think. Now, in terms of the Champions League, as I said before, incredible run. So we've got Kairat final game, which is massive. And I think obviously Kairat are literally bottom. So we can play anyone there and we'll win. Let's be honest. But it's good to see. Now, obviously, back to business in the Prem. We need to start taking advantage because yes, we gained a point because City and Villa both fluffed their lines and drew. But lost, sorry. But we need to start taking advantage, man. We've 2-0 in a row is not good enough. And we need to kind of stamp our authority like we're doing in the Champions League. We need to do that in the Prem. We need to put our foot down and say, yeah, you're going to drop points, we're going to win. Now, in terms of when we play, we obviously play on the Sunday, which is after City play. Yeah, City play Wolves, which obviously not ideal. But I'm not worried about City at the moment, man. I'm worried about ourselves more, to be honest. So we play on the Sunday. Big game. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to be back tomorrow with another video because I'll be watching the Marseille game, which, as you guys know, Ethan Manieri to Marseille, here we go, on loan till the end of the season. Good move for him. He's not getting any look in terms of Arsenal. I mean, Eze's struggling for minutes. So Ethan, best of luck, man. Such a good talent. We know how good he is. So I'm sure he'll do really well under De Zerbi with Aubameyang and co. But I may do a short on that. So stay tuned. Make sure you're liking, subscribing if you're new. Follow all my socials down below. TikTok, I'm active on all socials. And yeah, it's been JZ Knows Ball, and I'm out. Peace out, guys. Take care.